This video, hopefully you watched the pay-per-click one-on-one 101 video. That's right before this one in the page, because that one was more about the strategy behind Facebook pay-per-click. And this one, we're going to go into Facebook Business Manager. So this is where we're going to manage our Facebook page. And you could tell that it's Business Manager because it has kind of this like dark, like kind of gray blue header on it, and it doesn't have any of your personal Facebook settings. So the purpose of Facebook Manager is so that you can manage multiple business accounts in one place without getting inundated with notifications on your personal account. I don't know if you've had the experience of being an admin of a Facebook page, and when you don't use Business Manager, you get every notification from, in this case, the View Review, along with like pictures your grandma posts of grandchildren and stuff like that. So this is a really useful tool, and as you can see here, you can manage the actual page, and you can see the results of boosted posts. So boosting, that's what the head of PR does at the paper. So they manage the actual page, they manage the comments of posts, and they manage the boosting of posts, and kind of handle that strategy of what budget to put in and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get started. So when you go to the top left right here, this top left corner, it's a drop-down menu, and you have 4 different settings, and then you also have these like more advanced settings. So this is where you go to find the analytics, so you can measure the performance of the business. We can understand billing, so this is where you can see how much we have left in our budget. And as I am recording this, we have a $2,000 budget, $1,000 per semester, but we have $2,000 per year budget. So if you want to see how much we have left, you go here. This is where we manage the asset library, which we haven't really utilized as much, but this is a place that future staff members, if you guys want to streamline ad creative so that we could scale up distribution of the digital paper, this is where you build out the asset library, like evergreen videos, evergreen images we could use over and over again, stuff like that. This is where we manage pixels. This is how we can learn everything. There's just so many features and settings in Facebook Business Manager, and it's a very powerful tool. But we are just going to focus on these 4 right here. So we have Ads Manager, Business Settings, Pixels, and Audiences. So let's go to Audiences first, and we will work our way up. So these are the current audiences we have right now. Oh, dang. So looks like we could do a little bit better on creative right now. So the warm audience and the hot audience. The hot audience is doing great. It says that 3,200 people are watching 90% of our videos. So you can see right here, you go into the settings, and it'll pull up like a little side menu, and you can edit who's watching our videos, and you could edit that. So how it works is you can pick the videos to watch, right? And then you just confirm that. Oh shoot, it's activated Photoshop. And then you can target it by people who've watched 75% of your video or 90%. So this shows that people watch like the whole thing. You update that audience. And then if this grows, this shows that people are like 3,200 people are like watching the videos all the way through, which is really awesome. This is not as high as it used to be. The warm audience, it's people that interact with our brand like within the last 300 days. And so obviously we could do better with that. But this is where we have the audiences, and you could create audiences depending on like what your strategy is. So if you click create audience, you can make a custom audience, and there's a lot of ways you could do it. You could create an audience based off people who visited your website with your Facebook pixel, which I've installed in our website. And then these are just a lot of different, like if you have an app, you could target people who like use your app, or but the engagement one's pretty good too. That's what the warm audience is built from. So it's people that like engage with our videos. That's the hot audience parameter. It's like how long they watch the videos. People who have opened a form. So if we want to create a lead form for the email list, we'd use this one. So for example, like a good use of the lead form audience is someone that opens up like a form to fill out so that they could join our email list, but then they abandon the form before they finish submitting their email. So what you could do with this is that this will pixel people who don't finish the form and don't submit their email, and you could retarget them with an ad saying, hey, you didn't finish the form. And so you could be very like a very conversational brand where you could just follow up with them and say, hey, you didn't finish, just open up the form and finish putting your email, and we'll give you like a coupon, like a free drink to So Delicious or whatever. Then there's people that interact with our Facebook page, business profile, like our Instagram. Like these are people that interact with our Instagram. So this is a good way. So we could use these custom audiences to segment our audience that uses Facebook, and those tend to be a little bit older users. So I'd say like 25 and up, like into the 30s. Like this is where faculty, they still use Facebook. People that like me, where Facebook just started in high school, and we use Facebook in high school. So I don't use Facebook as much, but this will help us segment the type of people that use Facebook. And then what's cool is that we could create a custom audience for just our Instagram profile, so that we could really get our Instagram audience like on point. Because that's I'm just gonna say right here in the video. So it's Thursday the 7th of March 2019 when I record this video. And something that we're doing all right at is our Facebook distribution, but Instagram we haven't been doing a lot. So whoever's watching this, if you want to improve Instagram, you should learn how to make a custom audience for this, so that we can start segmenting content based off what works well on Instagram. And then whenever you make a campaign, you just send it to this audience with the Instagram business profile, and then you just pick the right page. And then it's like anyone that's engaged with your business on Instagram in the last 365 days. You could change this depending on your strategy. You can create other parameters. People that engage with a post or ad. Anyone that sent a message to you in the last, let's say like 30 days. So like, let's say you have like a campaign where you put like, hey, send us a messages in the DMs, and we'll like give you this like coupon or something like that. This works very well in finding people that send us a message so that we can retarget them. Think about implications for advertisers. If you want like advertisers to work with you, you could be like, hey, if you are a small business, just send us a message and we could send you a PDF showing our like prices for our ads. We could pixel those businesses so that we could follow up later with an ad saying like, hey, we're discounting our ads for like 10%. So very powerful tool, and I'll link to some additional resources in the how-to page for the review, just so that you guys can, if you're more interested in like learning deeper to like use on how to use this powerful tool, well, you'll know where to go. And then also it has all our assets in this place. So we got like all the images that you could reuse. Locations is a new one. But yeah, you can control advertising based off geofencing. which is cool. So if you want to get very targeted on like giving relevant news to a certain neighborhood. So recently there's a shooting at Parkway Lofts. Um, if you wanted to alert students that lived in like Wolverine Crossing and Parkway Lofts, you could do that. But ideally, you just send it to general audience. It's a lot of work, but and then we have all our videos in one place. Now let's move on to the pixels. So this is where we manage the pixel, and it gives us analytics and stuff like that. There's not much to do here, but this is the pixel, and if something breaks on the website and you have to reset it up, this is where you'd go to set it up again. And it's like a little bit of code that you could put in the header tag of the website, but it's pretty easy to do. I actually might, if you just Google like how to, because we use a tool called Divi for our website, if you put how to enter in like a Facebook pixel into Divi, there should be tutorials out there to teach you how to do that. But for now, it works, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Now we're at business settings. This is important. This is where you manage personnel and accounts, right? So you can manage the people here. So these are people that have access to the accounts. So Vagor, he's your go-to guy. So Vagor is an admin, so he could add you here, and so you could add anyone you hire on staff. You just send their email address they use for Facebook, and you could give them access, and then you just tell them like what ad accounts you have access to. So some people, they have access to the page, but they might not have access to the ads. Most people do have access to the ads, but for example, Ethan doesn't have access to like any of the money we use to distribute ads, but he does have access to the page so that he could post stuff about the podcast. And a lot of these tools are like if you're an agency and you want to manage multiple accounts. So this is where you can manage our Instagram account. And it's only really good if like you're an agency and you have multiple clients and stuff like that. Since we're just by ourselves, it's pretty good just to avoid that. Now, ads manager. So this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where you're going to plan your campaigns. And so you see it gives you like it. This is how it chunks out information. So looks like we used half our budget this year, so that's good. But the things we should focus on in this video is campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So campaign. What campaign is it's the overarching goal, right? So what you're trying to do. So there's this campaign right here, emails. What's the goal? It's to get more emails. And if you remember from the last video, it's all about figuring out what you want to do. Do you want to increase readership? Do you want to increase awareness? Do you want to increase signups? This one right here, video is optimized for video views. So this ad set is an awareness campaign. And then you go into the ad sets, and then you have different sets of ads. So this is where you can manage demographics and targeting. And we'll go through the process real quick on how to do that. But let's say like you're Doritos and you're managing a campaign, and your campaign might be you might organize campaigns by products, so like Doritos Locos Tacos or something, or maybe like a Doritos Cool Ranch campaign, to sell more Cool Ranch Doritos. And in the ad sets, you could do this now, where you can, instead of just doing one big commercial for the mass market, you could create multiple videos for the same product. So this ad set could be Cool Ranch Doritos for like the Midwest of America or something or like Kansas or something like that. And in the commercial, so you go to the ad set, the actual ads, the creative is like a white middle-aged man with his son, and they're fishing and they're eating Doritos. And then another one could be like like Atlanta, and it's like Terrence, and he's an African American male who is, just hanging out with his I don't know what it is about grandpas, but it's just kind of like based on the location, it might resonate. You could create creative that resonates more with that location. Maybe it's filmed on site in Atlanta, so that you could have several videos for one campaign goal in one place, and then have specific ad creative in each set, so that you could test and learn a thing or two. But hey, let's create a campaign, like a test one. So you go to create a campaign, and let's say that our goal is to increase like the warm audience, so that's like awareness. And I'm terrible at spelling, but it's an awareness campaign, and we just put like March 2019, and then auction. Usually just do auction, but then you can pull up your campaign objective and look right here. So if you watch the last video, like what do you see here? It's top of funnel, awareness, middle of funnel, consideration, and bottom of a funnel, conversion. So these are different goals based off what part of the funnel you want to push, right? So let's say you want to increase brand awareness. You'd use this. For this case, we have a video. And video kind of toes the line of awareness and consideration, because they're both impression-based campaigns. So we're going to do blur the lines a little bit, and we're going to use video views as a way to increase brand awareness. And then we could create an ad set. We could create two ad sets. One is, but the first one could be like the challenging class video. And we might have like two, and I don't know how to spell, and we could have two challenging class videos that we could test against each other to see which one works better. And then we create the ad later, and so you could go save to draft, and it's going to save it to draft and create the campaign. And now it's going to show me like this directory right here. So here's the campaign. Now we're in the ad. The ad set, and so the ad set is where you get to check the budget. And so here's the guidelines here. I mean, it's up to you. If this is your job at the review, this is a great time to like play around. It's a learning incubator. You could learn about like, okay, what works and stuff. But generally, good rule of thumb is that when you're making a campaign, you want to test it first, 3 to 5 days, and you put $10 to $15 per day. And you always want to do daily budget, because if you give like lifetime budget to Facebook, they're going to milk you for all you got. So you have to be very careful and make sure that you put a daily budget, and you maybe want to test it out for 5 days, and you go like $15 a day just to see like how it performs. And then you want to make sure that you end the run. So Facebook defaults on don't run it, schedule an end date, run as ongoing, which means you're giving Facebook the permission to just charge you money on in perpetuity. Don't do that, because then they'll milk you real good. But if you do an end run date, so let's say, okay, so it's the 7th, let's just do like around 5-ish days, and that's when you end it. And what I want to do is increase the warm audience anyway, so I'm just going to just send it. Actually, I want to increase the hot audience. So like, let's say that's my goal. Like I want to have more people watching our shows. So I want to increase the hot audience. So I need to go up one step in the funnel and go to the warm audience. And then this is cool. So then you want to focus on targeting. Maybe you don't want everyone in the United States to see the ad. You want to get more local businesses. And so you can look up Utah. And you can just geofence by Utah. If you want to get more specific, you could zoom in, and you can drop a pin like by like Utah Valley University right here, right? Just kind of put right there, and then you could increase the geofence up to 50 miles, and you're like, okay, cool. Within this area, people can see the ad. And then usually it's about like 18 to 30 students, maybe like go 32, that's a good range. You don't want to target by gender just because I think both genders like the news, so let's stick to that. And now when you're doing targeting, remember what I said in the last video. If you watched it, if you haven't, go watch it. Target by interests, like what they're interested in. You could be like, oh, they like Stranger Things, so you could target people by if they like Stranger Things. If you're in a dental association, you could put like thought leaders in the dental industry. You could put their names. So if you really like Barack Obama, like your research says that the people that you want to sell to like Barack Obama. Boom. One time we had a campaign on like a story about a feminist leader, Bell Hooks. She came on campus, and we actually targeted them from like people who are interested in this person will see the story. So it's pretty cool. Like we could provide tailored news based off what people are interested in. It's some pretty advanced stuff. It's a lot of work, but if you guys want to play around with it, good idea. And then these ones, you can learn it, but we don't really need it for what we do. And then just do automatic placements. Edit placements, you can just kind of choose like where the ads are shown. So, it's up to you if you don't want it to show up on Instagram. If you do, this is where you control it. And then how much you want to pay. Usually you want to pay for 10-second video views because our videos are at least 60 seconds. If people watch the first 10 seconds, that means when you're making videos, you need to not bury the lead. Like you have to be able to show in the first 10 seconds like what the story is. And then also we're going by impressions when we get charged. When we charge by impressions, we're just paying a few cents to reach more people. And then you go down to the ad. So you click down to the ad. And there's a lot of things you could do, but we want to like select a video, and we want to do this tall version for Facebook stories. And it's going to give me a preview of the video and the copy, and then you edit the copy. And also lets you know, like, if you want to have like these in-stream videos or like the story ads where it takes up the whole screen, you have to keep it under 60 seconds. And then you edit the copy right here, and when you change the copy, it changes right here. And then if you want to add like a button at the bottom, you can add a website URL, like so. If you want people to go to our main website, it goes right there, and then the display link is this thing right here. Once it's done, never mind. Yeah, so let's put okay, cool, so that's where you change it. The display link is like the actual website. And then you can add a description right here if you want to like make the link more clickable, but that's up to you to explore. And yeah, then you just make sure that's attached to the UV Reviews pixel so that we could pixel them. And you just press publish, and your campaign's live once it's approved by Facebook. So just keep in mind, political posts are a little bit harder to post on Facebook. So anything that has to do with political stuff, Facebook's very strict right now because of some recent events. But just keep that in mind, that you have to be a little bit politically neutral when running political stories. But that is how you do Facebook Manager. That's how you manage the whole system. I'll link to other resources in the tutorials page, but yeah, that's how you do it. Just let me know. I'm on LinkedIn usually, Caden Damiano, if you have any questions. But but good luck. This has really helped the paper grow readership and reach. Let's see where you go with it.